All right, guys. So while we are waiting, everyone, probably it's a good idea to just make sure that we understand why we put that call today. We saw yesterday that there was a lot of discussions going on the Telegram chat, on Discord. So we wanted to address some of your questions, some of your feedback in the most direct and honest way possible. As you know, if you are there with us since a long time, we are pretty open to everything in terms of like questions, and we try our best to be transparent regarding what we are doing, or we see things for the future of 88 this kind of stuff. So with the forum today, we wanted just to be fair and just answering your questions first. Probably we won't talk much about like you already know what we are cooking. It's more about like your questions, answering them, and discussing all together. So bringing you on stage, just raise your hand to talk, and Weeper, me, or Steven will just invite you on the stage. Um, and yeah, that's it. How do you think about that, Weeper?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that a good
perfect.
idea?
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, McFly, for kicking that off. Just sort
Yeah,
of echoing what McFly was saying. It's not just related, by the way, to 88 MPH. It's a lot of projects. Obviously, things are looking a little bit more bearish, just generally speaking. And by the way, anything on this call should not be taken as financial advice, of course, just for educational purposes. But the mood out there, just generally speaking, overall, has been very bearish. So we're not alone here, but this is a great format and place for everyone to come in with their questions, try to get a little bit more clarity, so that they can make more informed decisions. So we have about 19 people here in the audience. We're just going to scan quickly. Please feel free to raise your hand. This is a great opportunity for you to speak with the team directly and get all your questions and get as much clarity as possible. So I'm going to pause here real quick, just do a quick scan,
thanks, Whipper.
and see who would like to come up on stage. Steven, if you want to add anything to that, or Matthew or
I
Zephyr,
did.
please feel free. Go ahead, Steven.
I did. Thanks, Whipper. Glad to be back here with all you guys. Glad to see almost 20 of you sitting in the audience. We'd prefer for you guys actually to hop on stage and be able to ask questions live for some better dialogue and back and forth. If you really can't join the stage, you're welcome to just put in the general chat. Just tag me and then put your question, and I'd be happy to ask it. But we'd prefer to let everyone on stage first.
Sure. We've got Beanie and Tim. I'm going to invite you guys up, so feel free to just accept the invitation to come up on stage. Hey guys, great to have you with us. The stage is yours. Go ahead.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
All right, yeah. I'm a little ill. I got corona right now. So I'm not gonna speak a lot, but I'm gonna participate in the conversation as much as possible. Thanks for the quickly scheduled community call. I think it's very important because the sentiment is very down at the moment. Lots of questions from the community, what's going on. I suggested a couple of things, what I didn't like at the moment, and also what I wanted to know what is going on, and that's that one of the important key players has left the field. They provided a big deal of liquidity. They've drawn it out. Is there any reason? Was there any contact with the team? Do you guys know what's going on? Yeah, besides that, I'm a long-term supporter. I still think MPH vibes are very cool. I like the team. I like what they delivered so far since the launch. Very good, thumbs up. But it doesn't change the fact that there has been little interest in MPH in general the last months. And Mostly I brushed it off because of the market was just down for DeFi in general. That's what I said often. But now we are at a point that we sunk even deeper than most underperforming projects in DeFi. And in my opinion, a great project like this with great fundamentals cannot go this low if you compare it to other DeFi projects. And that gives me a sign that there's something wrong, and we should look at it, what is wrong. And I already suggested a couple of things, what maybe is not handled very well at the moment. Like one of the things is I didn't hear a lot about from Sevram. Sevram is I think the most important dev of the team, and some people invested in MPH just because of him. Some people invested in MPH because of CMS or the vision of the project, and we should not underestimate these things, that we should take care of every small details. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say to the team and my questions. What I have right now.
That's perfect, by the way. Maybe we could take one point at a time. I think you, Steven, sure. Go ahead, bud.
So thanks for hopping on stage, Benny. I did want to point something out that just out of curiosity, because I honestly don't check charts too much. I did pull up pretty much the big players like Maker, Aave, Compound, SNX, Sushi, and I'm not discounting what you're saying at all. All of them were about 80 to 85% down from their highs. So I'm not saying that it's just one project or another. The DeFi market from a price perspective has been struggling pretty significantly this year. But I do think a lot of your other questions, concerns are pretty valid. If we want to handle the very first one about some liquidity being drained by CMS, I don't know who would be the best person to answer that. Matthew or
more than happy to jump in. You hear me all right, guys? Anyone? Yep. All good? All right. So about CMS, well, first of all, Benjamin, thank you very much for your point there. Just want to make sure, I just want to point out that 88MPH is a lot of developer, not only Zephram. Zephram is like the core dev, and I like him. But I just want to make sure that every dev is recognized here. There's a lot of other dev also, and it's a team effort here. Also, this is not a financial advice, but if you invest because another person invests into a protocol, that's your choice, and then that doesn't make the team responsible because we had CMS with us and now they decided to remove some liquidity. Oh, now CMS is not with us anymore. If you look at CMS investment, they withdraw their money from a bunch of places because they are positioning themselves into ready to get ready for more investment and for bear market. I used to be I'm still an advisor at Derivadex if you want to look, and we also they also remove a bunch of liquidity from there. So looking at external people investing into a project, removing money from liquidity or so on, does not really reflect how the project go, if the project go well or not. It really depends on if the team is working and developing some stuff. In the past few months, McFly and Zephram worked on VeMPH, which is coming. We had a discussion about meta governance. We deployed on AVAX and Phantom. So from my point of view, there's a lot happening right now, and the price should not affect have any impact on the quality of the team. The team has delivered a lot of stuff in the last few months. And I think this is for me worth way more than the actual price of 88MPH. I know it can be frustrating if you bought at the top and now it's going down. Totally understand that, but you have to see that as a long-term investment as any other token. If you want to have a pump and dump token, I don't think 88MPH is the place for you. But that's my 2 cents on looking at who is investing in us and who is not invested. I think if you look at what the team has delivered, the team has delivered a lot in lately, and there's a lot of developer that I don't see right now on the call, but that they are also working hard in the back. I have a channel with the team, and they work daily on updating everything. So I think I'm more than happy to discuss about the launch on Phantom and the launch of AVAX. Can we incentivize AVAX? Is there any protocol we could add on 88 MPH? Can we work with other protocol to be a meta governance? All of these bring a lot of value to MPH versus, hey, the price is down, what's happening? Like price is down for the entire market in crypto, and talking about just the price for a project doesn't make sense from my point of view.
Just adding on top of what you said, Mathieu, regarding CMS, the deal with them, there was no deal basically. They just jumped in the project in March of last year. We chatted with them. Of course, we have a group chat with them. They are still on the multisig. It's just okay. It can look like a big fuck you if you see things like the reality is okay. We are just putting out money. I see it another way because probably they have good reason, but I don't know yet. I requested them to have a chat. Dan from CMS told me, okay, yeah, let's schedule a chat. I'm waiting him to go back to me, and CEO of the team could schedule a chat in the following days. So I will make sure that everyone will be informed regarding what will come out of this call. And I requested it because I really like to learn, okay, what we did wrong, and learn from that basically. And it's definitely not the end of the world. It already happened before with others. Like we got like a lot of VC from Singapore and China who were like just going on the project for 3 months, and after they were dumping on everyone. Okay, that's definitely not stopping us to build stuff and just maintain the project and the way it is. We can talk about that later after regarding the future of 88 MPH. But I myself, I really personally see it as like really frustrating, but I'm working on myself to just detach my work, my ego, my whatever daily stuff that I'm doing from that, because if you are just watching the price and you're just like caring, okay, it's going up, I'm happy, it's going down, I'm fucking sad, definitely it's not going to end well. So I try to detach myself from okay, that's me, that's my work, and that's the price, and whatever like amount of TVL there is there, and making sure that we still want to work on that, or we still see an interest to work on that, and making sure that we can build on whatever we built for like the last 24 months, and make sure that we make progress, we iterate, and we think about new stuff. It's not. I saw on your messages, not just you, Bini, but others, that there was this thing around. Okay, yeah, devs are building, and is not like the only thing that need to be done. I totally agree with you. It's not because you build something that there will be a community behind you. So the focus for 2022 will be on like making sure we develop partnership, like business development and this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's another conversation. But just to answer you directly regarding CMS, I don't know yet, honestly, like what they thought. They have their own reason. I will be sure to learn from that, and I will keep you updated. So yeah, maybe Zephram, you want to add some stuff regarding the questions of Bini?
Yeah. So, sorry, which question specifically? Is there a lot of questions?
I suppose like the main question from Bini for you was like related to the way you like people are not seeing you on Discord much or on Telegram. You're like discreet, if we can say like that. So yeah, just answering this kind of stuff, and just say what you think about that.
Yeah. So, McFly and I are co-founders. We've been co-founders for a long time. So like we try to, divide the work between us two, roughly, equally. So given that I'm the dev, on the team doing all the, protocol development and all that, I just kind of let McFly handle all the, Discord, Telegram, and community stuff because, it takes a lot of time to just monitor the, what people are saying on Discord and Telegram. And, that can easily, eat away at time for developing stuff. And yeah, it's just also pretty exhausting. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thanks for the answer. Yeah, the thing is, I totally agree that the team has delivered a lot, and I certainly don't want to give the other devs too little credit. I don't know exactly what everybody is doing the last weeks, but we have seen on GitHub and other places that there's a lot of building going on. I just was giving some examples where people are looking at, and one of the examples is Zivra. I've spoke to a lot of people, and some people really like what he's doing, and they have him very high. They say he's a very good dev, and that's also one of the reasons why people invest in projects, because they believe behind the people in the team, the vision of them, and they believe they can succeed in it. It's, in my opinion, sometimes Seafram is we don't see you too much in the community, or yeah, not much, and that's, in my opinion, a waste, because people like to hear what's going on, and we can see on Twitter that you are active. So it's not like you don't have time. And if we can compare it to other big developers in other projects, they have also time. So I understand the way you guys positioning the to do list with McFly, and it's good. I like McFly. He's doing a very good job at the moment since the start already. But I really suggest to show up a couple of times and use your. I think you got some pretty good powers and good connections, and keep the momentum, keep the guys interested in MPH. Like, sometimes it feels like it's not about MPH anymore. That's my thing, my thoughts.
Thanks, Benny. I think we accept, like, we are more than happy to have all the thoughts of everyone, and make sure that we can address, if we can address them, and then move from there. Do we have any other question or anyone else? I think I see a lot of question on the chat, but people don't jump, so don't feel free to just ask if you can jump on the stage if you want. Here, guy from Glenroe.
Hey, guy from Glenroe. I clicked on you and invited you up onto the stage. I saw you had a good question in the chat. Figured you might want to ask it. Can you hear us?
Your mic is muted.
All right.
Just if you're trying to chat.
Maybe he's not comfortable. I can just read that. The question is,
Or hold on. Oh.
Okay. Is he there? Oh, there you go. Guy, you want to speak? Not sure the mic is working.
All right. Well, I can read this off. If you have something you want to hop in and say, go ahead. He was specifically talking about our V3 release and about how there were a lot of different auditing processes and they took a little bit longer than expected. He was asking if there would be a way for us to have more transparency for the new tokenomics and what I believe kind of the specific steps to track that progress would be. Something a little more concrete for people to at least read and understand what's going on. I'm not sure who the best to answer that is. Maybe you, McFly?
Yeah, I can answer that. So correct me if I'm wrong, the question is related to our progress related to development for the new tokenomic, right?
Correct, and just requesting I guess a higher degree of transparency with it. I was
Okay.
sort of the way he asked it.
Yeah, probably is where we need to improve. I totally agree regarding that. Is like personally the difficulty I have with communicating every week related to something is I don't want to create false expectation regarding what will happen, what happened, and what will happen because of this week progress next week. We did it before, and basically we were always wrong regarding the progress we will do the following weeks, because you never know. Like we build a lot of stuff that are new, and there is a lot of unknown. Even if like sometimes you just fork something, but at the end you realize, oh fuck, that thing doesn't work the way we were expecting. So we need to go back to our draft and working something new. So each time when I see other project or like big guys on Twitter like saying, "Oh yeah, this week we are doing that, and next week we'll do this," like a lot of time I'm just saying, "Okay, yeah, it's just bullshit," because like I already know. Like before, I was a project manager in another life, and I already know like planning and stuff like that doesn't really work. Like 50% of the time, you're just wrong about everything. So I'm not sure yet to have like the exact way of doing things. Like I can tell you right now, the gauge contract are ready. We forget the stuff from Frax with the help of Nansu. Nansu is a new developer helping us with some like Solidity task. So he did that. You can see that on our GitHub. There is a new repo there, and Zev currently is in Hawaii. So this week he wasn't working on the front end, but next Monday we'll start working on plugging the contract of the gauges with the new front end design. We posted the new front end design that we built last week on Twitter, like just a funny fancy video about like how it will look, trying to be a bit better what you can find on Frax and Curve. And the last thing that need to be done is related to the way we want to handle the change regarding the vesting contracts. So is where we need to make progress related to that. And maybe I can leave that to Zephram. Zephram, do you want to jump on this topic real quick regarding the change needed for the vested contracts?
Yeah. Basically, we need to shift from the existing rewards model to a model based on curve gauges. And that requires quite a bit of change from, the model we have now, where we just mint MPH tokens whenever we need them for rewards. So yeah, like the new reward model is more similar to like a staking pool model. So when you make a deposit, like it just behind the scenes like creates a staking position in a pool that receives rewards from the gauges. So that way, like we can have a fixed schedule for rewards, and we also, if more people come in and deposit instead of minting more, we'll just they'll just dilute the staking pool, which is what a lot of protocols do. But yeah, like it's the code change itself is gonna be fairly complex, especially because we're not, deploying a new contract for handling all this. We need to upgrade from the existing contract, so there's a lot more security considerations. Yep.
Yeah, thanks for that. So yeah, the conclusion on that is where we need to make progress is on that part. So we are still figuring out the best way to do it. But in parallel, there is still stuff going on for the front end, making sure that we can plug whatever exists right now, and updating the subgraph if needed. And we still target, like from what I heard from Zeph when he saw the new front-end design, he told us that, oh yeah, that's going to be still February. Like we are targeting February for releasing something that is testable at least, and making sure at the end that it's making everyone comfortable. So probably running some user interview to just make sure we are not doing something horribly wrong. And as Zephram said, regarding like the security of stuff, just making sure that we are not like doing stupid things. Just for your information, we are not like making a modification related to like the main contracts of 88MPH. So, but yeah, there's still security consideration just to make sure that we are not fucking up too much. So yeah, that's the progress. I mean, I can write that on an announcement each week, but it's not like linear progress. So basically, for 2 weeks, we are like researching the best way of doing things, and after we have like a big milestone done, so we can communicate on that. But every week, probably not. Yeah, but my concern was not like creating too much expectation. Just like when we are ready, it's ready. You know, like it's not like making announcement of announcements, like so many other guys are doing. You know, like at the end, people realize that it's a lot of bullshit and there is nothing ready, and just like pushing deadline again and again. So I was like, I learned from the transition between V2 and V3. We were like announcing, like postponing things, postponing, and at the end, like everyone was frustrated. So I prefer to play it like a bit like Banker is doing, or I don't know, like whether like is like Wired, for example, they are not like announcing, oh yeah, the Vinomic will be ready at that time, and we are like doing that and this right now. It's just like, oh yeah, we are working on that, and we'll be ready when it's ready. We just like being transparent with you, like we still target February, but you know, like it's not like there is no right and recipe regarding that. So there is some unknown, like the one listed by Zephram, for example. But just don't get me wrong. Like if you need an update, just ping me, and I will happily answer you and being transparent on all of that on Telegram or on Twitter or whatever. Like just ask me, oh yeah, can you update us? And I will update you guys. I know like I need to be proactive on that, but just if you think that I'm too lazy, just ask me and I will be happily sharing details.
Thanks for that question. I'm going to do a quick scan here of the audience. Guys, feel free to raise your hand. This is a great opportunity to get some clarity on some questions that you might have had for some time. I do see that we've got 23 people in the audience. If you're not comfortable coming up on stage, I recommend just heading over to the chat where you can drop your questions there, and both here in Discord and in Telegram, and we will address them accordingly.
Yeah, there was one last question that we didn't address from Bini. It was related to the liquidity. It's still a concern for us. And what's going on beyond the stage is, okay, CMS removed their liquidity. Okay, that's what happened. It's not the end of the world in the sense that, as you know, there is the new supply, the new MPH supply. So probably something that we still need to deliberate internally. But the most basic idea would be to just kickstart a dump liquidity mining program on Phantom and some on SushiSwap, like boosting a bit the rewards there, just to increase the liquidity again, like we did at the beginning, basically. So that could be a quick solution, but like not the one I like. But at least it will make everyone more comfortable, and allowing trade on Phantom will be really huge when we launch the new Vinomic release. So it's probably going to happen that way, and after it's making sure that we invest the most of the new supply in owning our own LP token, making sure that okay for the next months, years, we are fine even if a new whale enter the game like CMS, when they get out, we are not like wrecked, or there is like not this kind of lack of liquidity we have right now. So we will address that. Why we are not addressing it right now? It's like really a stupid thing related to what our lawyers advise us in Switzerland related to the creation of the foundation. I know it's really boring, but it's like really my reality, my daily reality right now is making sure that we are not like making our life harder when we need to deal with accountancy for the company, dealing with the business, like the development of the protocol, like 88MPH SA. The new company in the US also, we created a company in the US with Zephram to handle some service agreements with the Switzerland. So making sure that we are not fucking up with the accountants and making the life of everyone harder than what need to be done. So yeah, what I wanted to say with that is we didn't do the new distribution right now because we are waiting the creation of the status of the foundation. So that will happen probably next week because we sent the money for the initial capital. They request like I think it's 50,000 Swiss franc to create the foundation with the initial capital. So I just sent that from the developer fund today. You can see that on chain. And yeah, they will follow up with the process next week, our lawyers. So they advised us, okay, you just wait, but we officially created that. It will create less burden on the taxes and like whatever accountancy stuff that I don't understand. But it's really annoying when you need to deal with this issue after. So I prefer to make everything in order, even if it's painful to just wait after lawyers and just, okay, say yes to, oh yeah, let's wait. And you don't want to wait, basically. Pretty frustrating on my side, to be honest, but it's kind of like it pay to be patient sometimes. So it's just, yeah, I know that I'm saying that since 1 month, like, yeah, it will happen. But it will really happen that way. Probably a bit of liquidity mining protocol, like making like a dollar cost averaging into some LP position on Sushi and on SpookySwap, for example. That will be smart, like not investing everything at once. And probably what you are asking yourself is how we will pair the MPH with whatever other asset like FTM or ETH or USDC. So there is this strategic sell that we need to work on, making sure we can do some OTC trade to bring some cash and ETH. So that's the first stream of cash we can have. And the other way around is starting doing like some small DCA, selling a bit of MPH, entering new LP position each month, for example, and making sure like the quick build-up of liquidity right now will be for the liquidity mining stuff, I suppose, like because there is no magic things, like we don't have like a shit ton of cash right now to pair with MPH. So that's the workaround that I'm thinking of right now. Like, and don't hesitate to tell me I'm wrong and there is a better way of doing that. I will be happy to know. But I think it's a good enough solution right now.
McFly, just around the topic of liquidity, I think that you mentioned that Bancor was sort of phasing out their position. You mentioned something to me. Maybe you could sort of clarify what you meant. I think it's probably worthwhile for those that are listening with regards to them phasing something out.
Sorry, you were cutting it. Can you repeat the last sentence?
Yeah, sure. So I was asking about Bancor providing liquidity, one-sided single liquidity for impermanent loss protection. I think that's what on their V2 or V3, but you mentioned that they're phasing that out. I was wondering if you could elaborate on that.
Oh yeah, it's just a detail, but there won't be any 100-day of delay between zero protection and full protection against impermanent loss on Bancor v3, as far as I know. And the other thing is Mark Richardson is a member of Multisig, as you know, and he told us also they are like thinking about like onboarding new projects for the launch of the Bancor v3. So I will make sure that 88MPH is part of that first batch, and we will have like a first place on the launch of these V3 pools with a lot of innovation regarding how they will manage the protocol on liquidity, incentives, dual rewards, impermanent loss protection. All of that is part of Bancor v3. They are targeting Q1 of 2022. I don't know when, but they told us that. So it's going to be also a good news for us in terms of how we manage the liquidity of the protocol at the end. So yeah, it's just like I think it's the decision of everyone in the community, especially like MPH holder. But I suppose we don't want to repeat on the launch where we burned so much money on liquidity mining for at the end having this kind of liquidity issue. So thank God there was 2021. There was like the homies, and they showed us the way of doing protocol on liquidity. I don't think that the home model will work well for us related to what I saw for other projects, especially launching bonding on Phantom. I see some projects are raising like 300K, 400K, but it doesn't look like a success for me in terms of like giving so much token to Olympus DAO Pro and having just a 400K bonded for the cost and the amount of token. I don't think that's really successful. So probably it's better to go on our own way for at least for the first iteration, and we will see how it works after. But that's probably the path. And I mean, like it's a decision we need to take together. So there will be proposal for that, of course, because the money will go through the governance treasury. So we will have time to discuss all of that.
But that's a great change. So are you saying that they're getting rid of that 100-day wait period for impermanent loss protection once V3 comes out? That's like a huge bonus, isn't it?
Yeah, like and don't get me wrong, is what I understood from my chat with them. So probably there is some details I don't know, I'm not aware of, but
Right.
is what I remember.
So just commenting on liquidity mining rewards. I mean, if that was the case, then you could almost argue that it doesn't necessarily need to be so super or over incentivized because you have Bancor there as a potential. Like, I mean, anyone wanting to provide liquidity there with impermanent loss protection without having to be locked for 3 months, like that's a major solution that's available.
Yeah. And they plan to launch on other chains after, so I'm really waiting them on Phantom at least, and like whatever they think is worth it. And after, of course, there is we can work with Spooky. They are the main way of getting liquidity right now with their staking program. Basically, they ask you for like minimum. I think it's you give your native token to them. Like at least the minimum I remember is 50K USD worth of your native token for at least 2 months, the minimum period. So you pay that to their staking pool, and in exchange you get your pool incentivized. And there is the other project, I don't remember their name right now. There is Beethoven, and there is the other Spirit Swap. They have some way to incentivize their new liquidity pool with this gauge model. I don't know much about it, but it's also another way of looking at it. But I suppose it's better to don't spread too thinly the liquidity among two different pools. So just focusing on one, and like for each protocol, just having one big pool. That's the best way.
Yeah, for sure. Totally agree with you on that. Steven, I haven't been watching the chats. Are there any other questions coming through?
Not a whole lot. Bene made a comment about, and I think I agree with this, about stuff that we might think is boring, like the US entity as well as the Swiss would be stuff that there are a lot of community members that would like to hear. I know the US entity has been in progress for quite a while, if I'm not mistaken. But I didn't know if those are the things that we want to start announcing to people, or what structure that looks like, because he commented on it.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't communicating too much of it because it's really like just boring paperwork, like hours and hours of dealing with lawyers, accountants, and like other partners, like really nice people, but just like really boring process that take months, and just like you never have the right documents, so it's always endless steps to move forward, all of that. But right now it's done, so I'm pretty happy with that. And mainly like the US entity is related to like internal stuff and the way we like Zephram is in the US. He doesn't want to move in Switzerland, of course. So it was easier for us to have like these two separated entity. And for the foundation is I'm like the main reason why we have a foundation is to separate ourselves from the protocol and making sure that even if something horrible happened to us, there is still something that can sustain the IP of a project, that can sustain the open source spirit of it. Like, I'm not like, I don't want to go in the decentralized bullshit and stuff like that. It's not like why we did that. But it was mainly because we wanted to separate the commercial entity from who is emitting the token. So it was problematic, at least in Europe. If you want to launch something that is emitting token, you can go and run in a lot of trouble. So it's like there is a lot of gray area right now, and nobody has the right answer. Even the lawyers, you can pay them like 100K, they won't tell you exactly what to do. So because they don't know themselves, so it's really hard to navigate all of that. So we prefer to at least make sure that as we are not Anon, like everyone know it's already an identity. So if someone want to find us and there is an issue with what we did before, they will find us, and we don't want to get like in too much trouble because we want to protect our personal life too. So we wanted to set up that correctly. But of course, if you are like running all of that anonymously, you don't care about foundation, you don't care about legal entity. Even Squire and Sushi have like legal entity right now, so it's not true. Like it was true in 2020 and early 2021. But I think a lot of guys realize that you can't run a business like if you want to pay guys and like use tools and pay stuff. You need to sign checks and stuff like that. So you need at some point to connect to the real world.
Thanks for answering that. I'm gonna unmute you, Pilkus. He put in general chat that he had a question.
Hi guys. First time. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yep.
Awesome. So basically, I'm just kind of exploring 88 MPH past like I don't know a couple months right now, and then just I don't know if that might sound kind of silly, a question or something like that. So I'm not running a massive portfolio or anything, you know. So I'm just kind of was trying to kind of maybe stake some tokens on your platform. Let's say even when I look right now, so to earn it, let's say, and then it says like you can choose from, let's say, loads of tokens and stuff like that, and then it's automatically transfer you obviously into your wallet, which is I've got a MetaMask, and let's say I wanted to stake 1,000 VRC tokens. And it shows that what your earnings going to be in a month's time is like, let's say, I don't know, $25. The gas price was $200. So like it doesn't at all make sense to pay $200 worth of gas to put your tokens onto your platform to gain $25. Is that like throughout all the platforms the same, or you can go, let's say, into other, I don't know, like what you have
You can
with the
probably go on
Avalanche or something
Phantom.
like that. These
Yeah,
prices are less painful and stuff. So
yeah, definitely you can use Phantom. You will get the same experience as on mainnet, on Ethereum mainnet, without paying $200 to deposit and withdraw. So you will just pay a few cents, and you will have like exactly the same user experience, and even better because you will actually have some yield left even if you deposit just like $1,000, for example. That's probably something where you will have at the end a higher yield than somewhere else regarding fixed rate, at least.
Yeah, and to answer your other question, that is across the board, those high fees. That's just Ethereum congestion and gas fees on Ethereum.
I literally can't hear what you're saying, to be honest.
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Steven, you're
Yeah,
coming
can
in
you
perfectly clear. I'm not sure if it's the gentleman's internet connection or not, but I can hear you perfectly.
Well, I think Guillaume covered that pretty well. I think Dakota, did you have a question you want to answer? And if Pilkus, if you have anything else, just message me in chat and I'll throw you back up.
What's up, guys? I just had a quick question, and it is less about me and just general feedback I've seen in the Discord, and that's a lot of people are asking about the bridge back from Phantom to ETH mainnet. Do you guys have any sort of update on that? Just in case somebody does miss it here, I'll be able to relay the message later.
Yeah, probably you want to take that one, Zephram?
Yeah. So the bridge back from Phantom, it's quite tricky. Like we originally had a design where we just we had a minter on both mainnet and Phantom, and then like we just kind of do our own bridging. But that relied on a bridge such as AnySwap, and we wanted AnySwap to be able to both like deploy a bridge version of the mainnet MPH and a bridge version of like the Phantom native MPH token on mainnet, but they did not have support for that. And AnySwap is like, as far as I know, the only bridging service that actually like deploys another token on the other chain that you're bridging to. So right now, so that's why right now, like there's only bridging from Phantom, from mainnet to Phantom, but not from Phantom to mainnet. So our plan for that is once we have the gauge rewards, we no longer need to have minting capabilities on all the chains that we're on. We only need it on Ethereum mainnet. And that means we'll be able to just like bridge from mainnet onto the other chains as usual. And for the bridge back, what will happen is we'll just so there is like a converter already on Phantom. It's just that it doesn't have enough MPH in it. So what we'll do is we'll just bridge over a bunch of MPH from mainnet and then allow holders of the existing Phantom MPH to kind of convert their tokens to the bridge to the MPH bridge from mainnet, which will be what is used after we have the gauge set up.
Cool. So gauge setup, and then do you have any sort of estimated time as to how long that would take? I know that's asking a lot, but yeah.
We're targeting sometime in February right now.
Cool. Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming up on stage. Anyone have any questions? I don't see any hand raises. Looks like Root Draws had a good question. I assume you're putting that in chat because you don't want to come up on stage, which is fine. I can ask it. Where are we at with the branding and marketing of MPH? He says late 80s meme movies, vaporwave. Any ideas around this from the team? Not sure who the best. Maybe McFly, if you want to take that question.
Yeah, it's definitely not the priority right now, but we are pretty open to work on that after, like, when there is something that still makes stuff like not boring. Like if you told me, oh yeah, just rename that in compound dot blah blah blah, I don't know, I will just say probably let's think about another idea. I know that it was kind of useful for us at the beginning, but after, like, a lot of people were kind of worried about the impact that you can have on a financial product offering fixed rate that is, like, pretty conservative, not degen at all. So there was kind of always this opposite direction, if I want to say, related to how we look on Telegram or Discord and what is the actual product. So it was always like hard stuff to handle, like doing kind of like communicating on the brand with the brand, and having like a fixed rate product. Like there is a lot of dissonance. I don't know if it's the right term in English, but so yeah, I don't know. Like we could come with another name, but like it's kind of. I'm not sure at the end if it will change anything. Like just to rebrand something else, I don't think it will bring like 1 billion TVL. What we need is whatever you will name, you can name that strawberry or like blueberry. Like at the end, it will be how much partners you can find, like, or you will do your business development. It's this kind of things. I was mentioning earlier, we are working with Dakota and Jimmy. Jimmy is not in this call, but we are putting together like a team that can help us reach out to a lot of projects, working with Matthew also to make sure that we are presenting 88MPH in the right way for like lending protocol who want to use 88MPH fixed rates to offer that, to broaden their rate offering. Like they have variable rate, they want to offer fixed rate too. We can play a role there. I see, for example, Element Finance currently reaching out to different DAO treasury, posting requests for comment proposal related to, oh yeah, we are Element Finance, we are offering fixed rate. Our product is more cool than the next one because blah 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 and this. So it's this kind of things we need to do. Changing the name, I don't think. Yeah, why not? Like, but it's not going to make a huge difference, especially because we are evolving in DeFi. Like, we are not like putting that in. Like, we are not doing an advertisement in the Wall Street Journal or whatever. So, and we will probably never do that. So, yeah, it's more at least like reaching a critical size. Like the goal, at least like bringing 200 million TVL is definitely in our power, especially with like yield aggregator building strategy on top of us, this kind of stuff. You will be able to see things happening on Phantom. real quick when the liquidity will be there with like some yield aggregator who start building on Phantom 88 MPH Phantom. And that kind of things take like months. Like I spent the last 10 months like talking to project and like just having a lot of no and like a lot of yes, but maybe, or like can you go back to us in 3 months because we are not ready? So it's more where we need to put our focus in 2022, like stopping building too much many new stuff and just focusing on growing and making sure that it's secure and we have the right tokenomics. So probably with a Vinomic, it will fix a lot of stuff that were wrong with the precedent tokenomic. The brand, maybe it's wrong, but it's a lower priority for us. But we like just we are open. Like if you bring us with a name and a logo and a domain name that look cool, like why not? I don't know. It's something that the community will vote on, and we won't put our veto on it. Like at the end, like for me, it doesn't really matter. Like you can call it 88 or 8 MPH or whatever. I don't know what you think, guys, but I think, Steven, you think that it's cool to have another name?
Yeah, I only have a couple of minutes actually because I got to jump off the call, but like I also agree that like a name change might not be so bad, and I agree that like maybe in the grand scheme of things it's not as important, but you'd be surprised just how much of like Facebook, just as an example, wouldn't have gone through such a big change to Meta. Like there is this theory behind changing a name and what it can do, not only for reputation but what it means. But I don't know. It really depends who you ask. But like I think that like I'm up for it. Steven, we've talked about this before. What do you think?
Yeah, I've brought this up a lot internally, and I know that everyone here is super open minded, so it's not a do or don't thing. It's a let's hear if there's actual benefits to it. And I don't want to speak out of turn. I won't say what the domains are, but I know that some of us do own a variety of domains relating to MPH. So this has been thought of for, I think the first time I remember this being brought up was like January of 2021. So probably over a year ago. So it's definitely not off the table. But yeah, I don't want to say anything other than that unless you want to touch more on it, McFly. But as long as governance votes for that, and that's what the people want, I mean, I think that could be beneficial.
Yeah, just I wanted to say that it's like not a yes or no or a veto or whatever. Like, it's more like there is so much stuff to do before that to make this thing a more like revenue generating protocol for everyone. Like that's the end goal. Like we are not just like there for putting money and TVL, like mercenary TVL on top of this. Like at the end, just making sure that there is protocol, like some fundamentals that are like strong, like and revenue is earnings is what matter at the end of the day. Even if everyone agree probably that fixed rate are not degen, there is a lack of capital efficiency, and probably there is more fun stuff to build on top of 88 MPH or next to 88 MPH. So we'll make sure that we finish the Vinomics. I just wanted to end with that, the call. We will finish the Vinomics. We will release it, making sure it works the way we need to work, and building the revenue generation for everyone, because at the end of the day, it's what matters. And making sure that with Zephram, with the team, we continue thinking about what could come next after like this release, and not necessarily thinking about like building more and more on top of 88 MPH or adding more features. Is probably making sure that it's secure and well maintained, and thinking about how we can onboard new team members. Like, I don't know if you saw that, guys, on GitHub, but there is new developer added to the organization. They are working on something that they call Phantom. For example, this kind of small experiment adding that to in a lab section on 88MPH would be what drives the development in the following month after the Vinomic release. And with Zephram, we'll think more about okay, what's next after, especially with what will come next with ZK Sync, Starknet, these kind of things. It's probably where the narrative will need to be built because there is like and a lot of stuff that need to be built there, and or we can fit 88MPH in that vision for the following years. So yeah, I probably we will communicate more on that on the following months. Of course, it's not like something written in the marble. It's evolving, but yeah, as we want to be transparent with you guys, I think it's important to say that too.
My apologies, guys. I personally have to jump off the call, but feel free to stick around as long as possible. But this was nice, guys. It's been long overdue. I don't think we've hung out as a community for, I want to say, almost close to 8 weeks now. So this is really nice, and it's been a really good turnout, by the way. You know, we've got 22 people in the audience, which is fantastic. And there is talks about, getting these things rolling back on again, and really, putting an emphasis behind community. So just wanted to say this is amazing. But stick around, guys. I unfortunately booked my time accordingly, so I do have another call I need to jump onto and prepare for. But just wanted to say it's great to hang out with everyone.
Thank you, Whipper. I can
thanks, Whipper.
take over for a few minutes if we want.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Did you have a time you wanted to wrap this up, McFly?
I probably think we can do that right now, except if someone else have some questions, or if Zephram, you want to add some stuff. But from my side, I think it's fine to end it right now.
Yeah, let me just ask this last question. If you have something, Zephram, feel free to just interrupt me. Looks like Kashmir asked about the Aave grant to anyone who wasn't with us back in 2020. 88MPH received a grant from Aave for building, and we were asked if we still have any obligation to the Aave team, and do they profit from our development? Absolutely
not. At least as far as I'm aware of, we have no obligation with them. It's more like they were giving us, I think it was like $3,000 at the time, like in 2020, so it's 2 years ago, just to help us with security audits. And after that, yeah, we were chatting with them, but they mind their business, we mind our business. Like there is a lot of things going on with them, so it's more like we are like a small player in all of that. So there is not like anything to expect from this kind of grants, like just a grant. And after, like they are like doing rounds of investment too, and like Stani was using 88MPH. I don't know if it's still using it, but all of that is probably on chain. So yeah, it's just like pretty open.
And then I did want to comment on what Whipper said. It looks like he already announced that we're going to be doing some of these community calls again. I don't want to promise that that'll be weekly, and I just wanted to make that clear that we're not committing to a weekly schedule like we were doing in the heat of the bull market. It's a lot harder. You'll find to get quality teams on board during times like these. We do have some stuff lined up for you, and I am in the process of sourcing with Whipper and as well as Dakota down in the audience helping us out, sourcing some new projects to have some conversations with. So hopefully we can get some content out for you guys who want to listen to us.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I think with that, I think that we're good to end. If there's any last closing thoughts, raise your hand. But thanks everyone for coming in.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, Steven, we will have that on the YouTube channel, right?
This is being recorded. I know we did have a couple issues with Craig in the past, but it looks like Craig Recorder is in the audience, and let's cross our fingers. Do you want to get this up on our YouTube channel?
Yeah, that would be nice. I saw some guys asking to have it recorded, so they will probably be happy if we can publish that as soon as possible.
Yeah, definitely. I can try and get that up sometime in the next 24, 48 hours.
Cool.
Looks like CryptoPilot is typing. If he has anything, we can answer that. But thank you all for joining us.
Yeah, thanks you guys. Cool. Thanks, Pilot.
All right. Yeah, we're going to end it now.
See you guys. Bye-bye. Thanks for our time.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.